Hi, Homer. All right, I'm going to do your past life reading and healing now. So, we're going to be focusing on exploring a past life that would fascinate you, like the dreams you had as a child, and a past life related to any karma that is needing healed in the present life experience. And so, we're going to see if I can allow your spirit guides to enter into the wisdom as well, okay? So, I'm just going to relax and grab my little crystal piece here. And we'll see what comes, okay? I'm just going to share the first picture, all right? Okay, it has to do with music. There's instantly sounds being played, and they're quite lovely. I even think of what is golden, like a golden piano or something. Almost like even a harp or something of that kind. There's something golden or fancy about it. It's really lovely to hear. I wouldn't have a clue how to describe it. It's just an energy reflection. And to hear it is sort of making me smile so big. It's making me feel so amazing inside. I'm just allowing it to play. It's telling me a story. It's sort of like you could listen to Mozart or Bach or Beethoven, or, they play all of these different sounds and different notes, and they sort of tell you a story through the sounds themselves, create emotion in you, right? And so the sounds that this is playing is quite joyful and happy, but there's also something about the melody that is shifting to tell me something deep, tell me something much deeper than this. It's not just about laughter and joy, but something deep in the emotions, a really deep thought or feeling that is almost philosophical or something to really contemplate, something of that kind. Let's see what happens here. I'm inspired to sit down at the piano. I'm being encouraged to sit down at the piano and play. It's like I'm in a heavenly space, playing on a golden piano. So, I don't know how to play the piano, but in the spirit realm I can. So I'm just letting my fingers just move across all the piano keys and just playing whatever my heart sings. There's some guides here. I'm not able to make them out quite right yet. One's male, one's female. It almost is like a mother and a father. That's the kind of the odd energy I feel about them, but I'm not able to see them quite clearly yet. So I'm just going to relax, and there's just a lot of smiling energy here. There's two more as well. I'm not able to see them at all, period. I just can't. They're kind of like they're behind me, and I'm not looking in that direction. I can't turn around to see them. So, as I play, I'm starting to see something where there's grass. And there's some green plants here. I can't tell. I feel small, and I feel like I'm looking for something in the grasses. But it's sort of, there's some bigger leaves on these plants, like almost like jungle leaves. Just bigger, rounded ones coming from the ground, though. It's leafier, big leaves. I'm looking for something. I'm quite excited or entranced by what I'm looking for. So I'm just walking. I'm really focusing on this one little space here. I'm even on my hands and knees and crawling. I'm curious. I'm very curious. The age is young. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It feels like a 3 or 4-year-old. Curious. But I don't feel like I'm in the middle of a jungle. I feel like maybe there's a big yard here, a very, very, very big yard. And there's some larger leafy plants along the side here, and there's grasses. But I don't feel, I totally feel safe and natural with what I'm doing. I just feel very small, even maybe younger, maybe even like 2. I just feel like I'm crawling. I just want to find what I'm looking for. I'm just supposed to tell you exactly as I see it. So this is the story, okay? So I'm crawling and I'm crawling into the leaves of this. It's getting more leafy, but I'm small and I'm looking. And when I get through these plants, I see something that I've never seen before. It's almost like I can see into an entire space that is of a different dimension or different than these plants, and it has a castle inside of it. But it's darker in this space than where I am. It's very sunny where I am. The castle is completely made out of black materials, and there's some lights in different windows, and I wouldn't be able to say if they're electrical or candlelight or what, but I can see there's glow coming from some windows. And it's stormy out. But it's odd because I can't be sure that it's a castle, because there's some elements of it kind of look like it could be a massive spaceship that has some lights on it, that just out of different places. It's hard to make out. You could see it either way. I'm just stopping, sitting on my rear, and just looking at the picture, wondering what I found here. As like a 2-year-old, just watching, and it's quite dazzling. It's almost like it's a projection. Because I can see my world, and then there's like a foggier shape here, and I look into it, and I see a different world. And I'm just sort of like just sitting down and looking and trying to figure out what I'm seeing. But oddly enough, it's almost as if it was also shown to me from somewhere else, or somebody else allowed this image to be shown. Not that I just stumbled into an image of an alternate dimension or a portal or something. It was like some sort of high-tech it's almost like a television screen just created itself in my space, and I'm looking at it right now. But it seems to be projected from outside downward. I'm just watching it, and I have no thought in my head. I'm just absorbing what I'm seeing. There's movement, and it really does feel like it's space. There's movement of different kind. And it's dark. I don't know what I'm seeing at all. I'm literally like a 2-year-old child without any thought in my head, as I am looking at the screen and seeing what is taking place. I feel no fear or no thoughts. I'm just absorbing what I'm seeing without any ability to have a clue what this means or anything. It feels a little bit more destructive, because if something feels kind of energetically off about it, like I'm not seeing something really like a swan or, some sort of beautiful, something feels a little darker about it. This isn't making me feel warm and fuzzy inside right now, but I don't have any ability to make sense of it. As a child, as you're watching it, you have absolutely no fears or anything concerning about this at all. There's some odd energy sort of. Basically, the screen just went like warped or something crazy. And so I'm just still watching it, but I kind of jolt back a little bit, and then I'm continuing to watch it. And it's starting to break up and fizzle out, and then it's gone. There's nothing more. I seem to know this. This is done now. So I'm done looking for my treasure, and I'm going back the way I came. I seem to know that this was going to happen. I seem to have been called there or directed there. So I went there. And then that's where I sat, and I literally even had was sucking on my thumb too. Some points of this, there's like a drooling aspect going on. It's just strange, because where are the parents in all of this? But this is what Spirit shows me. This is what is taking place. I am joyful. I feel there's an odd sensation of excitement, or real, like instantly I see the image goes away, and I seem to know that it's over now. and I've no relationship or understanding of what that was about. And I feel so elated. Like, I feel just like squealing. I feel so excited as I'm coming out, and I'm literally standing up and just running like a 2-year-old, just learning how you're not perfect at running yet, but yet you know where your feet are and you can move them, and you're just squealing and just so happy and excited that it happened. It's just so happy. It's so excited. There's something warm about a mother here in this next picture. And even a darker room, and it's just dark, and something about climbing onto a couch, or this climbing onto her lap, and then just resting, falling asleep even right here. It just, you know how kids are, they just want to be on your lap when they're little too. They want to sit there, and then they just go into their own little mind world, and then they just can fall asleep really easily as well. But there's something even sort of swaying about it, and I feel really relaxed, and it's nighttime, and I feel ready to fall asleep. And there's something very warm about this experience. I'm not thinking about anything else. It's interesting how they are not those young ages. They don't think about anything. Like we think about things constantly, whereas they're just looking at everything and just absorbing the pictures. And then they have emotional reactions to things. And so they don't really have a thought process about why or anything of that kind. They just absorb, and then they get an emotional reaction, which it could be very positive or not positive, or confused or whatever. So it's just sort of like a swaying emotion, and I'm just relaxing, and I'm feeling like I could sleep now. And it just feels natural. Everything just feels instinctive and natural. There's something about a red shirt or something red that she's wearing. I'm still playing on this golden piano. I'm just playing on it, and I'm playing something it's rhythmic, it's faster, but it's really happy. It's really, I don't know, more higher pitched notes, but really excited. I don't know how to describe the sound of it. It's not a piano. It doesn't sound like a piano sound, but it definitely has keys like that. And then the sounds are really high. They're really pretty. There's just something really wonderful about this. I'm inspired to share this energy with you. There's a lot going on right now energetically. I'm not just playing the piano and hearing the sounds, but the sounds are affecting me. And I'm inspired to do something with this for you too, but it hasn't come yet. Give me a minute to allow myself to focus on the experience. They're talking about finding... There's something interesting about memories and where memories are housed, and even in conjunction with the child, where the sounds, it's not about the thinking or trying to understand through the thought. It is understanding through the emotions, and the emotions that are intertwined with are just like notes, just like sounds, just like music, just like symphonic sounds, and even the sounds of harp notes and violin, and it could be any sounds. Sounds themselves are reflections of memories and emotions, and those seem to be more impactful than the constant thinking process that we experience. Accessing true moments through accessing the way the emotion sounds. That's what they're saying. There's something about what you shared with me related to this. reoccurring dreams when I was a child, and I believe they were related to a particular space and time. So somehow there's a relationship here about what you're picking up on has a relationship with certain sounds that were very meaningful to you, and they were played out, and you're trying to remember the sounds so you can access the memories again. They're asking me if I feel that I'm playing the right sound. I say I feel everything is right about what I am sharing. Nothing feels amiss about it. This is the way that it means, this is the meaning or the experience that I have, and this is what I'm being shared by heaven through my abilities. And these two here are entering into this scene. There's more to be shared about this lifetime. It's really like a mom and a dad. I mean, they're starting to become more where I can see them more clearly. They're not kind of foggy with just some faces. One looks kind of female, one looks male, one's taller than the other. It kind of feels like a mother father for some reason. As they're coming together, they're well dressed, and they really do look like mother and father, and that's what keeps coming to me when I look at them. I think of mother and father. Spirit guides, though, they said both. Sometimes you get spirits that have multiple reflections that blend together as one, so even have like 3 like sister souls or something, and then when you talk to them they come together as one and you just communicate with them as one. And then you could have 2, a male and female, that also blend together in oneness while simultaneously being 2 different. I've seen that before as well. They're talking about mother, father, 2 different spirit guides that are nurturing, of this sort of a very nurturing male spirit guide and a very nurturing female spirit guide. So I could only call them what I would understand in our language is nurturing, like role model mother father figures. But they're also blending together as one identity as well, while simultaneously being 2. And the male has a very clean beard, dark brown hair, is short. I mean, he's clean cut. He even has a nice suit on. And the female is very clean cut as well. They almost are quite elegant or rich, and they feel like they themselves are coming from a past life where there was money. And she is wearing a red dress, and she even has some jewelry pieces on, and they're really formal, almost like European, but they're not. It was not a time when there's nothing having to do with royalty or anything here. They're just well-to-do people. But I don't get the impression that it's Europe. It's somewhere else. But their dress is somewhat like that. It's odd, but it's almost like they're Caucasian people that lived in like Brazil or something. Portugal or something like South America or something, but they're white. But there's something really nice about they're well-to-do people. They're loving too, very loving. This dress she's wearing is so eye-catching and is so vibrant. It's so pretty. It has a beautiful pattern on it. So you have a really bright red color, and then the pattern is in a purple, which almost blends with the red, but it's perfect. It's just beautiful. And it doesn't go all the way down to her toes. It goes to like half to her ankle. Like not to her ankle, just between knee and ankle, it would go here. It's beautiful. They're beautiful. They're really attractive people, very clean. There's a child running to them and saying, "Mommy, Daddy," and then grabbing both of their legs and holding them and snuggling face on legs. Everything about this is very natural. Even the child wants very badly to climb them and be snuggled by them both at the same time. There's something really warm in my heart about this experience of being a child, being held by both mother, and father at the same time. I just feel such a perfect connection. Like I too am in oneness with them. And they're in oneness. And we're three that is in oneness now. It's interesting. That's how it feels. Everything is really natural right now. They're not showing me anything else. There's something, though, that is quite clear about this. There's something about family and connections and loving family connections with balance and harmony, and even soulmate bonds where everybody seems to understand and be on the same page. Not all families have that gift where everybody is in sync with each other like that. And that's, some lifetimes you get that, some you don't. But in this, the in sync sensation is incredible. It's so blended. It's almost like they could just be three different people, but be one impressive expression of love. It's amazing. It's like they could imagine if they had 6 more children, and they were all in sync with each other. Now we're a family of 6, 7, 8, 9, but we're not 9. We're all in oneness with each other. There's something impressive about the way this feels, and even the way the sounds of this beautiful heavenly piano, it makes that version of joy and love and connectedness and family connectedness. There's nothing more they're saying right now. I'm just going to relax for a minute. I'm trying to enter back in with the little kid that fell asleep with his mother. They're not showing me anything more with that. They're showing me a glass of wine and then drinking it. There's a female, she's laughing, and she's also quite relaxed and very excited too. She is gazing across the table at a handsome man. They are also in sync with each other. They are also lovebirds in a magical way. They're able to see into each other's eyes, but more than that, even if they were blind, they could still see how much they love each other. That is the sensation of their souls being in perfect harmony, perfect balance, the right sounds that are perfectly balanced with each other. They're talking about this too, a past life of pure, balanced love. Absolutely extraordinary, incredible, balanced, and harmonious love companion. It's so beautiful. It's so outstanding. It's so what everybody dreams of. It's the caliber of love that takes place when it's that balanced. It's almost like its own version of an atomic bomb, but not to destroy, but to create. Massive creation energy that takes place just through their interactions and their heartbeats, and the way that they love each other is explosive. And it's incredible. Everybody could see it. It would be undeniable because we can all feel it. And they're talking about that too, again coming back to the piano playing and sound, accessing depth of meaning through sounds, musical notes that are also associated with emotions, that are also associated with memory. That's what they're saying. All of this is quite heavenly and lovely and beautiful and romantic and honest and connected. There is nothing that doesn't create joy within me. They're not saying anything else right now. I'm just to relax. I'm sort of looking at the different scenes. It's really strange. I'm trying to make more sense of this child who went into the forest. I don't have a relationship with that ever happening again in that life. It was just some odd random blip. But this youthful little person, had connected to a calling, literally knew it in its heart, knew that it needed to go look for the treasure over here, went in to find the treasure, and then did. Found a treasure of something completely unusual, totally random, unexplainable, no ability to think or even think twice about it. It was over, and then went to be happy, and then that was it. That was it. And it didn't even wonder or look for it again in the same way. The youthful mind was just so, it didn't have a relationship to need to see it again or need to have that again. It just acts as inspired or by instinct. Everything about that life was very loving and extraordinary. There was some strange random moment that was a perfect timing sort of thing, and it was really brief, and that's it. That's all they're saying. They won't tell me how it happened, why, or anything. They just say that. Talking about the unusual things that happen that we have no explanation for create some of the biggest ripples. They're not telling me, though, how it created a ripple for him. Sort of almost like an odd bell tone that I keep hearing. Almost as though he was too young to really have any second thought about it. But what was the sensation of going through life looking for something spectacular, looking for something unusual, was the influence. Constantly looking for a treasure or something beyond the senses, or something beyond what we normally see. That was the best that could ever be understood. It was some flavor of the identity that just seemed to be his personality. But it really was inspired or influenced from that moment. That one single moment. It really goes to show how children are so... You have to give them... They're so impressionable, you know? But everything was very positive. It was really influential in a good way. It really inspired him to look for... Almost be like a sleuth, looking for clues or looking for something that was different in the world that we all see, but not being able to, constantly digging and digging and digging and digging to find something. That's an influence. That's a good influence. That means you're hunting and searching for wisdom and a wealth or development in a whole new arena of experiences, right? May not be able to put your finger on why, but that's okay. This influenced him. He literally grows up to be a happy young man and even falls in love. Feels very balanced. Even experiences love at the same caliber of his parents. Even has a family, and the love continues at this strong vein of balance and commitment and true love is sensations. It's like it's a miracle to me that it could just be passed down from one generation to the next in this family. It's impressive because there's wisdom about this, because this balanced love, it seems to be a part of their family heritage as well. Because the parents were balanced and they shared it with their children, who then were able to find balanced love in their lives, who are passing it down to their children, and then so on and so forth. And it became part of their blood heritage, that pure and true love. And I'm telling you, the sounds are really beautiful. Constant bell tones, constant harmonies that are really reflective of heaven. Really lovely, really creative, romantic, impressionable, beautiful. See what else happens here. I just hear a heart. I'm able to see your heart. And then I am inspired. So Homer, I just see your heart, and it is sort of, it's doing something with musical notes. It's playing musical notes so they're coming out, but I'm inspired to do more here. There's something about your heart too that is trying to open like a red rose, but it hasn't quite, to really impact your heart with more loving energy. More love of this flavor. This is fascinating, but this mother father that is also one, that is also a spirit guide, is really a guide of wisdom related to balanced relationships, true love, super high caliber, loving bonded connections. It's amazing. I mean, specializes in this. Specializes in family, specializes in gender identities, specializes in divine man, divine woman, specializes in this flavor of wisdom and this flavor of sound and emotion and that sort of thing. I'm allowing, there's an odd release. There was some sort of odd sharp instrument that was pulled out from the back of the heart portal piece. And so that way we can have love flowing from front to back and back to front that way. So I'm just going to continue to focus on releasing old energies and then just allowing this wisdom is so beautiful. So I'm just using it to influence even more harmonies and love in your heart portal space. I'm just doing this right now. I'm watching. There's just removal of old energies. I'm working with heaven to really enhance the energy flow here. We all need more love energy in our heart portals. We all do. Even people who are happy, we can all use more love. This is really effective, and it's really making me feel awesome inside. We're using the piano to really create more sounds to open up your heart portal. This is really impressive. The feeling is very impressive. Okay, Homer. All right. I'm just going to allow this to continue to flow. There's a beautiful connection with heaven that I have moved into your heart portal on both sides. And then also energy coming from these these two. One, this spirit guide. There's some others here that I'm not able to access right now. The focus is really on love and family connection and thus wisdom. And so we're doing all this energy flow into you, so we'll just let it keep flowing and let you keep inhaling that loving energy, and just let it keep balancing your heart and all of that. Okay, Homer, thank you so much for this beautiful experience. This has really meant a lot to me. And thank you for your willingness to share this openly for others to learn from it as well. So for those of you who are watching, if you would like to experience a past life reading and healing with me, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.